You know, it's an old Masonic building. You know what I mean? Let's have a look. See what's in here. But you think, see how many flats could they get in here? Or even bed sits. Great Britain, welcome USCNTs or whatever. But you imagine that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, nice showers. But you've got potential for 5 people to live here comfortable. You know what I mean? What I'm actually looking for, and you've got the Masonic floor in there, is the secret tunnels. You know what I mean? Because under all this, oh, this looks dangerous, a bit soft. But you have got the potential for 4 or 5 homeless people. You know, in fact, the homeless people would do this up. It's really dangerous there. It's like falling through, but this is all Freakmasonry. You see, someone's kicked that through to here. But if you look up in the ceiling there, you see the Masonic cubes. Look, I don't know if you can see them or not. And the Masonic cubes is a dead giveaway that this is Freakmasonry 101. But they could get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 12 people in here. You know what I mean? Off the streets and a safe place to live. Do you know what I mean? But they won't, because they like the chaos. You know, the police going round. You know, I don't know if this door's open or if that's a bit dangerous. If I'm, no, it's okay. I think that's. Ooh. Again, love you, bum. Who the fuck's bum? This is all Masonic buildings that you can see that just with the decor, and this is all Freakmasonry. But again, if you can get like 10 to 12 people down there, how many people can you get up here? You know, just to live. It's Masonic, you know. Don't know what sort of building it used to be, but let's have a look. Someone's busting in all this, they've burgled it. It's not good, is it? You know what I mean? It just costs money to repair, doesn't it? Don't go over there because that might fall through. Alright, it's going to cost a bit of money, but you know, again, 2 bed sits here. Even putting in bunk beds, you know, like as a hostel. Oh, I'm glad someone's lived here, look. You know what I mean? Look what someone's done to it. Whether that's a refugee or not, or whatever they call them, but... Oh, someone in here. Maybe. Might be a pigeon. It's a wall through. It's water coming in. Look at this, look, this is the Freakmasons. They own all of this. And they'll keep it derelict. Pretend they ain't got money. Oh, they must be able to get out as a Masonic seagull. Oh no, it's a Masonic pigeon. There it goes, look, running through there. But this is all Freakmasonry now. I daren't step on there. Well, let's do it anyway, just in case. Oh, take it easy. Oh, they're gone through there. There's a lot of pigeons living here. We prefer the Masonic seagulls and pigeons living in here rather than a human being. You know what I mean? We can get the pigeons living in big mansions like this. But you imagine how many people, if they, you know, it doesn't take a lot. Instead of firing them fireworks off, you know, down the old seafront for like 10-minute entertainment during the summer, that money could be ploughed into putting this into flats for proper people to live in. You know what I mean? Not the Freakmasons. They got we need to keep them away from this shit. You know what I mean? They don't need to be our landlords. Do you know what I mean? They may call themselves Mr. Smith, Mr. Jones, and all of that fucking bollocks. But they're the fuckers that are making us homeless, as I've said in many videos. Look, the old post office. Look. Remember, it's the lords, the dukes, and the earls. Because them pyramids on that town hall there, which is a Masonic lodge, of course, ain't there for nothing. But you know, look at that lovely fire. Look, again, see the Masonic cubes. Look, see the cubes of Saturn. That's what it's about. You see, it's the decoration is Masonic. You know, I wonder what sort of sinister things went on in here. You know. Ooh, it's dark up here. I don't know whether to go up this one. Fuck it. But it's lovely, you know. Man, the people that could live in this place. Christ, how many levels is this? I don't know how many I've gone up. It goes up another level. But you imagine the people that could live in this house. Well, actually, it used to be flats. I think it's got a number 3 on that door. So there's potential here for people to live a comfortable life. There's enough money, the council, if they weren't skimming off everybody. Oh, fucking hell, that stinks. Horrendous. Wow. But what do you expect? You know? I just think it's sad that no one's living in this place. And there's plenty of places in any town or city enough to home anybody and everybody. Wow, what's this? Fuck. Oh shit, no, I don't think I'll go that way. It's all like derelict. But they could repair this, fix it up. You know what I mean? But they won't. They love keeping you homeless, the council. Oh, I want to get out of here. I don't think I'll go up again. That'll just be the same anyway. I don't think. The most important thing is what's downstairs and the tunnels that are hidden from us. But even them bells, you see them bells, everyone's left them, right? But this bell here, you put that on a boot sale, you're getting a tenner for it. It's a tenner. You know what I mean? Crazy, isn't it? That's a lovely building. But the council wouldn't have nothing to do with it. They pretend they don't own it. They don't have nothing to do with it. It's Mr. Smith, who lives in Thailand or in wherever. You know what I mean? We've got nothing to do with it, when they know fully well that it's all to do with them. You know what I mean? Or don't they have a say over it? Don't our councils have a say? But you can see again that where they've put this in, yeah. This is how they hide their symbolism. You see, they put this false ceiling in. But as you can see round the edge again, that it's Masonically owned. Look, what do you think? They're Masonic cubes. see the flowers. Look, points within circles, circles within squares. Look, you see, it's all Masonically owned. But they've tried to hide it. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can show you. But they've tried to hide the symbolism behind these false walls, but it's all Masonically owned. You know, the Freakmasons own this. They still own it. That doesn't go out of hand, trust me. You know what I mean? Regardless of what you may think or feel, you know, these are the people that own it. Look, what do you think them 3 squares are up there? You know what I mean? They make sure they get their 3 squares every day. But because of the importance of this, see that? Look, we come back across the other way. I'll show you. You know what I mean? They even got the square and compass there. Look, you see, hidden in plain right. That's another story. But who do you think owns this building with these 3 pyramids here? Look, you see, sitting on the square. And then you got your Jachin and Boaz. You know, the 6 great columns, or the pillars as they like to call them. You got the whole thing there. Look, who do you think run this? Look, you see the 3 pyramids. Why is it 3 pyramids, I wonder? Is it because it's 3, 6, 9 and they're Masonic little magic 9? Look at the post office there. What do you think that is? The circle within the square. Look, the pyramids, see their ranking system, knows no bounds. Who do you think owns that all around there? Look, you see it? Look, all them pyramids with them world domination balls sitting on the perfect ashlar, the cubes. Look, you see the arches. Look, between each arch, yeah, you got the sun, the moon, and the black sun. See, 3 circles. Same as here. Look, the Masonic arch. Look, straight above it, you have the Masonic sun, or the all-seeing eye within the firmament. You see, they own all of this. They own that hotel. Look, see the hotel with the big world domination ball, and then the obelisk on top. Who do you think runs all this? And these people, this town hall, yeah, with their little special flower pots that I show you throughout cemeteries and crematoriums, because they run the death industry. I mean, look at this. Look, see the little world domination balls in gold. Look, see them golden balls. Look, and with the obelisk, see, same as what's on the hotel, because they run the hotels. They are the hotels. You know what I mean? But look at the symbolism here. Look, you see this? See that square and compass? Someone go, no, of course not, because there's a 5 points to start with, what give you the Masonic cube. But when you come here, that's who runs your town hall. Oh, that's who runs your town hall, the square and compass. Look, see? You know what I mean? then right on top, look, you've got your pyramid with your world domination ball and then your obelisk on top. But they'll tell you it's a load of shit, don't talk crap, don't talk rubbish. We don't run anything, we're piss poor. Even though they've had all the money for centuries and decades by putting their own people in places of power. You know what I mean? Can you see the swastikas on there, look? Done that before. Can you see the swastikas, look? And that was built during the war. See, that's their Masonic swastika, see it? I'll do it on the last one where you can see it, Just below the G there, look, you've got the swastika in the white, look. See, it's 232, it's the 9 steps in Freakmasonry. If you ain't sure what it is, go look up my videos, that'll tell you. You know, but they own that. The building next door, look, the bank, look, that's their Masonic bank, look. Firmament, 3 windows, 3, the bloody, above the door you've got the 3 columns, look, 1, 2, 3 columns in Freakmasonry. You've got the Masonic squells and all that. It's all owned by them. The whole fucking lot is run by these freaktards that have just sacked the town of all the money we've got. You know what I mean? And they're giving nothing. Look at all these Masonic councillors and chairmen. These are all Freakmasons. What do you think this is above the door, look? Do you think that's to do with a profane person, that pyramid? The pyramid above the door. The sun hieroglyph of their Ra god. That's fucking amazing, isn't it? Notice each one is 3, by the way. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Yeah, their sun god. But all these are all Freakmasons that making sure they're getting all the money going into the Masonic lodge as they pay their fees. You know what I mean? But look how far, and these as well, that, you know, the mayors, these are all mayors, yeah, of Great Yarmouth within the year of their election, yeah. Look at that. Square and can't piss down here. But these are all the Lord Mayors, look. And if you go right back, and Bayleafs, by the way, these are Bayleafs, look. Bayleafs and mayors of the Great Yarmouth in the year of their election. Yeah? So they're all, and it's gone back to 1668 when they were nicking the pigs and the sheep, taking land, taxing people beyond belief. They've been at it for all these centuries, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, the 1900s. When will it end? Do you see what I mean? When will it end? And now we're going into the 20,000s, look. Into the 2020. So all them years they've been screwing everyone over. You know what I mean? It's all in their stump, you know, in their swords, look, and their honours. Look, you know what that represents there, look. See it if I can get closer. See it, look? Square and compass, it represents the 666. There's your Masonic all-seeing eye, look. 4 square. It's all in their decoration. See the crown's king, look? That's who they protect, basically. They protect the royals, the kings, the queens, the lords and the dukes. And there's kings and queens within every county. You know, like, Norfolk, Suffolk, all the counties have kings and queens. You know what I mean? But look, they've gone right back, look. That's when it is, look. They've gone back to the 1200th century, look. Bayleafs, Bayleafs are the borough of Great Yarmouth with the year of their election, yeah? How many centuries? I don't know, you tell me. But look where they go back to, the 12th century, look, 1269. All these are Freakmasons doing their job, keeping their power. You know what I mean? Look, you got the Edward the First. You see what I mean? It's the kings they protect. Edward the Second, you see? So if they've gone back to the 12th century, and there's the heraldry of it, the people who run it, their shield, you see? That's all about, and you can see, look, there's Falstaff, where you got, like Falstaff, you've got the Falstaff arms and that, you know, he was the Falstaff, I can't remember his bloody name, but you got John Falstaff, but all these people, these are lords, dukes and earls, they're just not wearing their Masonic aprons or their crowns or their dukeness and lordness and marquee and all that. Look, 1300s. See, the 1300s, look, and they're all family related, and every year they're elected in, every year the same people. The 1400s, look, all Freakmasons, bailiffs that came round, stole your chickens, took your fucking cows, took your land, because they conned you into taking your money, because they knew how much money you had, because they're the bankers. So they told each other they've worked against us forever and ever. 1400s, look, Henry VII, look. See, collecting his money, his pigs, but now they just come round with the police. They're the Knights Templars. So you got Elizabeth, look, you got Mary, look. Mary, let's just wipe the screen. Mary, and then Elizabeth, look. It's not focusing in. Why is it not focusing in? That's weird, isn't it? So I love, I ain't getting you in. You're the best of the best. Charles I, the Commonwealth, and Charles II. You know what I mean? All these. Take it easy, beautiful. You take it easy. You're all right, sugar puff. You're the best. They've got their little swells in place as well. Look. But this is the Borough of Great Yarmouth. This tablet bearing the name of Great Yarmouth members of the Norfolk Volunteer Active Service Company served in South Africa during the Boer War. I'm telling you, all Masonic, all top ranks, look, colonel, lieutenant, sergeant, you see. And that's the thing about it, they control everything of power in all armies, in all navies. Here's Charles II, Bayleafs, look. See, come round, steal your chickens, take your land. Still do it today. They know you can't afford it because the banker tells them they're Masonic brother. See, they've been there for centuries, taking all the money. Look at the floor, look, it tells you, look. See, it's all square and compass, of course, but it's the circle and the square and the 4 pyramids. Tells me that this is an evil place run by these people. See, that's who they protect. The lords, the dukes and the earls, the family, the blood royal elites. You ain't getting nothing off these fuckers. Never. Look, they got the wealth in the cabinet there. You know what I mean? Do you think they sell that stuff and then put the money towards paying into homeless or feeding people? No, they place more wealth on gold and trinkets and all that sort of shit. I've been round here before anyway. Look, even above the door, look, that tells me it's Masonic. You know what I mean? It's pure Masonic. But there you go. And then you got your 3 balls there, look, with your flower, look, which is 2 squares. See, it's 2 square. And then you got your 4 pyramids, and you got your point within the circle. That's what that 3 there is. I think I'll give him a. I was got to give him a. I am a god, but I can't be asked. So there we go. And also, don't forget these bits. You know what I mean? I always forget bits. I don't know why. You got your 3 on there and your 3 on there. And it goes 3, 3, 3 on each side, because then it gives you that silly little Masonic 4 square. And don't forget, when you look from above on this, yeah, if I can get up there and do it, you then get 5 square. Look. See it? The point within the circle, yeah, and even the nuts make the 5 points, so it's 2, 3, 2. But that's what you're looking at from above, you see? The point within the circle, you see? And then you've got your 3 circles here, look, 2 are within the square, 2 ain't, but you got your 9, your special Masonic 9, which then gives you the square and calm piss. You see what I mean? You can see it here, that's the square, the point within the square. Each one of these, look, by the look of things, is a 3 and a 3 for 33 degree. What is going on? Even their like little information thing has got the pyramid on it, set upon the square. Their perfect ashlar. See, look, the keystone, it has 3 keystones in it, see? There's the god Lucifer. There's the god Lucifer there. Oh, what, one's a man and one's a woman? What do you think Lucifer is? He is a man, he is a woman, he is all things. He is legion, he is many. But what do you think these are, these 3 black cubes here? See what I mean? Notice, please, that the corners are missing, because it gives you the 4 pyramids. When you square it off, see, you square it off, you get the pyramids, you see? So it's 4 pyramids. See, it's wonderful how they've done that. Are you on the square, sir?
Sorry?
Are you on the square?
No.
Oh, good man, I love you then. He looked at my feet straight away, he knew what I was on about. He's on the square, trust me. Anyway, bloody Freemason, he's gone in. But here, look at the windows, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, all the way over this building is 6, 6, 6. You see what I mean? This is how perverted these Freakmasons are. Even here, look, what they've done. You can see the square, and it's 3 bricks. God knows why I can't, and I don't know what was there before. I'll have to look at my old videos maybe. But you can see how they're taken away, like whatever was there. See, they're hiding it now, but you can see it's a circle within the square. yeah, and 3 bricks high. But even that, see the cross has gone out of there now with the circle, which represented the all-seeing eye. But it's the heraldry of it, you see. Their pervert nation has controlled our towns and cities enough, I think, didn't you? We just need to oust all these freak-tard Masons out. Once we get the Freakmasons out, yeah, we're well in. I'll just show you this, where those who didn't see who could not see the swastika, you know what I mean, that goes all up the side here. I'm just going to show you this one as a demonstration, but it goes all the way there. So during the war, this wouldn't have been bombed, because that would have had something on the roof to show the German planes not to bomb it. But can you see that? See the swastika? Look, yeah, that's the 9 points in Freakmasonry. Your 2, 3, 2 is here. Look, 2, 3, 2, the Masonic cube. But because of this one and this one, that's your 9 steps in Freemasonry. Now remember, they were the squares and we were the calm piss. Nelson, another man of war, who was a Freakmason again. But if you take 2 together, can you see the square and calm piss? See, with the all-seeing eye, because the square here puts the all-seeing eye, and there's one above it there. Oh, the Greys, what a great family name in this town. But anyway, that's another story. But you can see the all-seeing eye, we've got our eyes on them, don't worry. Square, calm piss, you see what I mean? The Greys, oh baby, we've got the eyes on them. Eyes on we have indeed. And then windows that there, right, where you can see are 5, yeah, and not 6, okay? They're 5, they changed the windows on it, yeah? But again, it's 5, 10, 15. 5 and 1 makes a 6. I don't know if I'm shining the sun's in my eyes, so I can't see it. But where it says, where it's 6, where it's 5, so it's 5, 10, 15, 15, 5 and 1, 6, you see? And then it's up there, look, they've done it. Look, yeah, they've changed both them windows, see what I mean? Just to keep in. See, the rest are all 6. These are changed. These 2 windows are changed. Why? What does it symbolise? I don't know. But again, it's 6 at the top. Look, 6. And then these are 15 and 15. But it's 6, 6, 6. See? Smine little bastards, isn't they? And then you've got your world domination balls, look, on top of the obelisks. Look. And if you notice, there's a square below them, because then it puts the circle within that square. But look, all of that is Masonic. What do you think all that shit is? It's all Masonic symbolism. They run it, look, it's right at the top, look, the same circles. See the circle, look, the world domination ball above that square? That puts the same thing. It puts a circle within that square and makes a big 4 pyramid. Hey, look at this, look. What's that fleur de piss doing on here? What is fleur de piss got to do? You know what I mean? And there's that empty building, look. Look at the windows, look. You see the windows, look? 3, 6, 9, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. At the bottom, you got your 3 Masonic arches. You got your great pillars of Freakmasonry. Look at the door, look. You know what I mean? All Masonic. Look at that pyramid at the top, you see? And then what you got on the top of there? I don't know, what's that? Is that another pyramid between 2 obelisks with a big world domination ball on top? But if we look down from above, that ball, that world domination ball, sits on top of a square, within a square, blah, de fucking blah. And then what you got next door, look, you see the same thing next door, look. See the obelisks, and then that big world domination ball on top, look, you see? That looks like it's fresh put in, that is actually. But there you go, all them obelisks, look. And then each one below that are 2, 3, 2, look. But you see where the corners are cut off, look? The corners are cut off on the square, look, you see? So it gives 4 corners, you see? Exactly what they've done to them 3 cubes, them black cubes there. See, each side of these, look. See it, look? 3, 3 for 33 degree. Subtotal is 7 for the G. You know what I mean? You can't beat it, can you? What is this here? 7 windows, that's a G. That's a G, that's a G. See, 33 degree with the 7th one, that gives the G. G in Freakmasonry. See, but all the windows are 6, 6, 6. I've done all this before, you know what I mean? Makes you sick, doesn't it? Makes you sick. But here, the windows again, look, are 2, 3, 2. See that, my profane friends? And then you go from here, 2, 3, 2 for the Masonic cube, same as the top. But there it is. How much proof do you need that these Freakmasons run our councils, run our towns and run our cities, and that's why they're fucking been run into the ground? You've got to get these people out of places of power. You know what I mean? Look at the doors, look. See? They got all the money, they got all the wealth, they own it. You own shit. You know what I mean? I mean, look. Wow, you can see the square and compass, look. Square and compass, that's what that flower represents. And I never see that before, but now it's been coloured in, and I can actually see it. You see it, the square and the compass in that flower in there? That's what that represents. But it's the point within the square, obviously in a circle, but it's a Masonic pedo swell, you know what I mean? They've got it right bang off here, haven't they? Look at the post office, the windows at the top, look, see it? 246, 246. And obviously you got the 6, which makes the square and compass. So it's 6, 6, and then the square and compass makes 6, 6, 6, 6. Each window, it's unreal, isn't it? They own it, they run it, and you've got fuck all to do with it. Because they own it, they own all the leases up here. What do you think all them world domination balls and all them firmaments and all them circles, 3 circles make a square? Do you think all of that, yeah, is owned by some profane person that's worked in one of these types, like in a shop, like worked in a shop or served on a cafe, or, you know, do you see what I mean, my profane friends? They're nonsense in the communities that I know of, and I'm talking centuries, but they'll do away with the history, you know what I mean? Like I said, they've only got to keep tricking people for 30 years and they just keep writing the history. They can empty a library overnight and then stick whatever books they want in overnight. Imagine doing that en masse in every town in the city. You know what I mean? They can do that. Rewrite the books as they want or see fit and just stick them in. They own all the printers, do the research. There ain't nothing they don't own. They own the print shops, they own every fucking thing. You name it, they own it. Crazy. This, look, is all owned by, again, the Falstaff. Look, Falstaff, how, look him up, he was a knight or a fucking lord or a duke. Look, this is Masonic symbolism, if you understand it. See? Mad, innit? You understand it, my profane friends? A 7 or 7 above, 7 below. You know what I mean? You got your 33 degrees on the square. See the 33 degree on the square? See? Little peasants. And then here you go, look, 4 square, but look at the windows, look, 6, 6, 6, 6, 4 square. 6, 6, 6. Little nonsense. And then up the top, look, you got your pyramid. See? They own all of this, look, Omega sign. We own shite. Look, even them circles, yeah, look, they're pyramids, look, with the point in, look, see it, look? It's a point within a circle, see? It's wonderful, isn't it? Look at that Masonic. Look up the perfect ashlar, yeah, that's what they are, look, it's the perfect cube of Saturn, that is, but on top of it sits the world domination ball. You know what I mean? You think the Freakmasons don't own all these shops and the leases? Where do you think the money's going? It certainly ain't going into the community, is it? Because you've got all these fucking shops that are empty, all these buildings above, all owned by Freakmasons, and no one's living in them. And no one's living in them because they're the ones who are keeping them fucking empty. You know what I mean? And that's a fact. They're scumbags. I know what they've done, I know what they took from this fucking town. I know exactly what they run, I know their businesses, I know the postcodes and fucking all sorts of shit I've gone into. You know what I mean? It's all about reputation. Innit? Look at the windows here, look, see them, look? 9, yeah, 9, 9, you know what I mean? But really it means 6, 6, 6, and they're Masonic 9, because when you go like this, it's 6, 6, 6, see? 6, 6, 6, you see? Oh, it's all 6, 6, 6, my profane friends. And then look, when you go in, you've got the 3 X's, look. See the points within the square, look? But it's the Union Jacks, but it's 3 X's, shh! But it's 1 square in compass, 2 square in compass, and in the middle, it's 2, and then the 3 in the middle, 2, 3, 2, and that's what that is, 6, 6, 6, and that go all the way along there. But they'll tell you it's a load of shit. That's no, we're talking crap here, you know what I mean? Look, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, because it's all 6, 6, 6 of perversion. You know what I mean? Wonderful, innit? You see the Masonic cubes, look, all along here, look, all these Masonic cubes, look. See? They're well on the square, my profane friends, well on the square. And you certainly fucking ain't. Yeah, there you go, look, see the Masonic, see it, look? Little Masonic cube, look, with this little thing. It denotes the rank of the shop, look, see? See the same symbolism as on the inside of the roof, what was decorated. But look, it's all Masonic, look. See, the pyramid sits on the square. You've got your down pyramids here, look, with the all-seeing eye, look, 3 of them. It's a lot more of the symbolism than I know. And you've got the 2 little special points here, look. Don't forget these are different ranks, you see. All different ranks of the Freakmason that owns it, controls it, and still takes the wealth away from the profane. It's marvellous, isn't it? Marvellous. Anyway, my profane friends, I've had enough of these Freakmasons to last a lifetime. Gang stalking, drug dealing, perverts. They've destroyed many families within this community, orphaned many children, death to many children, jailed many children, jailed many parents because of their corruption and their crime, and they hold no accountability for that. Look, what do you think that is? The all-seeing eye and the sun hieroglyph, you see, with the pyramid. You know what I mean? That's just a simple, that's an old arcade day, that's the old arcade, but they own all these buildings. We own fucking nothing, never will. We'll never own anything. This arcade all owned, it's Victorian, because it was owned by the Lords, the Dukes and the Earls. You see the circles there? What do you think all them circles are? You know what I mean? What do you think this building's run by? All these windows that are 3, 6, 9, see what I mean? It goes all the way across. Mad. The windows are not 3 for nothing, because it gives the Masonic 9, look. 3, 6, 9. See? And then 9, 9, 9, 9. Wow, all that bollocks. As above, so below. 6, 6, 6. See? Anyway, my profane friends, I'm going. Their nonsense knows no bounds. Remember, the Freakmasons have got to be ousted out from all communities, anything of power, town halls, parish councils, police forces, everything that has a Freakmason involved in work, they've all got to be retired off. Yeah, if not, you've got to strip them from their assets, because all their assets have come through crime and criminality anyway, and screwing normal people over. So, you know, but given the choice, you either retire, go into retirement, boom boom, you don't do anything else that has anything to do with controlling people or have a position of power, and put real profane people in, you know what I mean? And then you'll see a big change, you'll see a real change. But they wouldn't allow that, they can't have that. You know what I mean? They'd murder you all in your beds. They'd strangle you in your beds to keep that power. Remember, they've done that over the centuries to keep the kingships and the queenships and all the rest of it. And they go to war, and they make you go to war over it. Anyway, have a great day, and remember, I love you all.